Hi guys, it's Jacob from Stringbuzz here, stringbuzz.org being the music journalism site. Links are in the description down below. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing the same thing as, the last 2 or 3 videos, it's because it's the same day. I'm trying to do these all in one sitting so that I don't have to rush later in the evening. I've got things to concentrate on the site at the moment. And anyways, on to the point at hand here. We've got Lukas Graham's latest song, You're Not There. And if you're wondering why I keep looking up here, it's because I'm referring to the original article that was posted to stringbuzz.org. I'm going to try and do this all in one take, as my audio equipment and my video equipment is actually recently broken, so I'm having to record this on a mobile phone, and I just don't see the point in trying to divide and quick copy all these things up together. So when Lukas Graham exploded onto the scene, it felt like a breath of fresh air and had been blown into the charts. I thought 7 Years is one of the best ballads I've heard in nearly a decade. It's one of those instant classics that everybody has heard at this point. The lyrics are sincere, the performance is fantastic, and it had just everything going for it in the situation. It was situationally a really good song. It came out at the exact right time. However, I found Lukas incredibly disappointing ever since that hit. Each song he's released has just lacked heart and soul, and I just don't believe anything he sings anymore. Not just that, the musicality of each song has been pretty dire too. None of these newer tracks have been very well arranged. In fact, they've been more slopped together than arranged. So going into this track, I wasn't asking for much, just a simple, hearty track that would get me back on board. So how did it go? And this track for me is just more of the same in my opinion. I think it's a slightly better track than the last 2 or 3 singles, but it's become mighty forgettable. The flaws kind of outweigh the positives here too, and it's left me feeling a little sour about the whole project. It's always annoying as a reviewer when an artist doesn't capitalise on their potential at the right time. Each next big thing carries a degree of expectation, and when that isn't fulfilled, but you can't help but fall out of love with the act. After hearing this track, I don't really have any propulsions to listen to any of his newer work, which is kind of a shame, because like I said, I was a fan when he first burst onto the scene. The production on this track is really good. There isn't really any doubt that the producer here knows what he's doing. The drums sound deep and wholesome, the choir-like synths add some interesting dimensions to the track, and the vocals sound crisp and clear. No single aspect swamps the mix, and instead we get a really well mastered track that we can hear the singer individually, really let loose, and that's always great. He doesn't sound too pitch corrected in this. I don't think there's very much auto tune on at all, and I think the instrumentation sounded drier and a bit more organic, which is always nice. It's the musicality, like many of Lukas Graham's latest tracks, that lets down the whole thing. The form is predictable and weak, and not just that, but there's no bridge. When will pop acts listen that bridges are the best part of music? To me, like I said, I didn't actually mention this here, but I've said it in many other reviews, that a bridge helps build up to that final climax, and the final climax is the most important part of a song. It's something that leaves you feeling either satisfied or deflated when the track is finished. So to me, when you just skip over a bridge and you just extend a chorus, suddenly that chorus loses its meaning because it's just being repeated and repeated, and with each repetition of that chorus and that hook, it becomes less and less believable, and I found that here. The progressions are bland and stagnant, and the beat is quite dull and repetitive, and the vocal performance is actually surprisingly weak from Lukas, I think. It's just really underwhelming in all these different factors for me. Lyrically, the song is really cheesy and cliche too, not nearly as good as Lukas's other efforts, and the self-titled hook it sounds really forced too, and not catchy in the slightest. It even made me wince at times, and Lukas, he obviously showed potential, that he knows how to create a phrase which is catchy and a great hook. But here it just sounded like he was, really pushing, and it hurt me to hear his vocal cords really being put on the end of their capabilities. So overall then, I really don't recommend this track in any way. I mean, you might like it as a personal fan of his, but for the casual listener, I don't see what here is warranting a listen. So again, if you're a fan of his, then I have no qualms with that. You're probably going to enjoy this one, because like I said, it's more of the same from him. But for me personally, I gave it a 3 out of 10. Lifeless and dull, and it's just a real shame for me. Now, that rating might be surprisingly low for someone like this, but I just feel disappointed, and when you feel disappointed, you tend to give lower ratings. So anyways, if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more. We've got plenty of other song reviews here, as well as on the site. Like I said, links are in the description down below, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.